Welcome into We Talk Ball, powered by College Sports Crew. This is Chris. That's Austin. Every Thursday night, SEC Autopsy. This is our third week of four Power Four conferences. But before we get started, I want to do something real quick. Our guy Pops, not going to put his business out there, but we just want to offer our prayer and thoughts to our guy Pops. Just going through a difficult family thing. And, we love him. He's the guy that, if you don't know who Coach Pops is, he hosts the Veteran Sports Voice podcast on the College Sports Crew channel. And he's a phenomenal guy. Really cool guy. Just a cool story, real quick, just to illustrate how cool he is. My daughter is a little nerdish. She loves collecting rocks, my little one. Austin knows her, JC. She loves collecting rocks, and she'll go pick up these just random rocks. Well, anyway, apparently, Coach Pops, he's a man of many talents. Went to school to be a geologist, I think is what it's called. And so, come to find out, he loves rocks. Him and his wife goes and gets them and all that. The man sent like 3 or 4 big bags of just like the coolest rocks to my daughter for her birthday. And that's just to speak the kind of guy Pops is. So, he's going through something, and we just want to offer our condolences and love to him and prayers. And we love you, Pops, and we can't wait to see you.
Absolutely.
Austin, how's your week been?
Pretty good week, man. Better week than last week. This week, I would say.
It's kind of scary how good my week's been going.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was thinking about that before we went on air, how scary this week's been. So that obviously means one thing. That means this tomorrow is probably going to end up absolutely horrible.
That doesn't mean that at all. That's just the way you think.
Yeah, it is the way I think. I'm pretty negative. All right, man, let's get into it. Before we get into the autopsy report, let's jump into something that came out. We're not going to talk. I'm not. Austin may have something to say about it, but I do.
To say.
Okay, good. Yeah. Apparently, I just don't want to not say it, and people think we just ignore it. But like we say on here, we don't talk the off the field stuff. But the Big Ten, led by really stupid people, put their stupid format out and released it. They gave it to athletic directors. ESPN somehow got a hold of it, put it out there. And as you would imagine, it's as stupid as it looks. So, yes, it's out there, and they're a bunch of idiots. You ready to move on?
Let's go.
Man, SEC Autopsy. All right, let's get into what we got right, because we always like to talk about the positives. We'll tear us down in the next segment. I've got one that I've been waiting on this show since last year. I've been waiting on it, and I'm not even going to say
nothing. The show off like that?
Yes, actually, I got a surprise for you, Austin. I've got a surprise for you that I did not tell you about it. I am giddy right now. I hope I don't mess it up. I am giddy. I'm trying to find the screen right now. There it is. Let me just roll the clip. Let's roll the clip. I did put on Twitter, I think it's more likely they go 9-3 than they do winning the national championship. So I'll let y'all cook on that. Do we have any idea who I was talking about right there?
Who could you have been talking about?
The Texas Longhorns. This is gonna get TikTok mad. Yes, the Texas Longhorns. I nailed it. I said it. I have proof right there. Ignore the predictions right there, because that's not my personal predictions. That was a group of us. So, yeah, man. Like I said, preseason, I didn't understand it. I did not understand I just did not get that. There's one word that I think is used in college football that I think gets overused a lot, and it's brand bias. But this was one of those times I really did think brand bias played a factor, because I did not understand how this was hyped up.
Brand bias from a Texas standpoint or brand bias from a Manning standpoint?
I think a little bit of both. I think a little bit of both. I don't understand how you looked at this team. I thought I was taking crazy pills because I mean they were preseason number one. They were a flashy national championship pick, and I was sitting there and I was looking at the roster and I was like, you were replacing like 4 or 5 offensive linemen from an offensive line that wasn't very good. So all the backups, the new guys were going to be better than the ones that sucked the year before. You didn't really go out into the wide receiver portal and get anybody, so that concerned me. The run game had been kind of lacking in a year or two, and then you had a brand new quarterback.
Yep.
I didn't understand it, Austin, at all.
No, my thing was every question mark that Texas had year before last was still the question marks coming into this year. So it was like, all right, that was already not the strength of the team, obviously. And I think I put too much into, I think people thought Manning was just going to come in and be their Lord and Savior. And just because his last name was Manning, he was going to, show out. And look, he showed some signs, but he struggled.
He struggled the first half of the season, but me and you said this a
Yeah.
lot. Me and you said this a lot on last season was how he was so far down the list of the problems for Texas. Like I can name
No.
several other problems that was the reason that team missed the playoffs. Several. Got us playing in the background. Making sure our comments are working. Yep, and they're not working. We have no comments working. We got a comment from Athletes Forum Podcast. Wait, we got a vintage We Talk ball film. Let's go. Yes. For some reason, the comments are not working again, so I'm having to go on YouTube and look at them. Yeah, that was a vintage We Talk ball, which that's why I clipped it to 9 seconds because I didn't want to see how bad, horribly produced, and horribly graphic our show was back in the day. I hope nobody ever finds out that old channel and finds those videos because we're way better nowadays. Joseph in the comments, what's up, fellas? How are y'all? Good to see you, Joseph.
What's up,
We'll be
man?
talking. I think he's the Ole Miss fan. We'll be talking his Ole Miss soon. But yeah, did you have any other comments on Texas, or did you have a team that you wanted to talk about that you got right?
No, we'll get into it in the segment, but I knew you were gonna bring up the Texas thing. I just didn't realize you were gonna bring it up first tonight.
Oh, dude, I've waited a year for this.
I know. Nah, look, kudos to you. You did hit the nail on the head, and everything that you said came true. Maybe the only team you got right in the country, but
It is, and that's why I got to take a victory lap, man. Especially with how much hell I got. Especially as how much hell I got from Texas fans last year. I got a lot of it. I caught a lot of flack, and I kind of knew early on. I was like, I felt pretty good about it. Once they not the Ohio State game wasn't the reason. But when you saw them struggling in some other games, I was like, yeah, I feel pretty good. They're going to catch a couple other losses. Joseph in the comments, Chris, that hat is fire, bud. Appreciate you, man. I don't know why comments don't show up on StreamYard. I'm going to have to email them about it, and I don't know. But appreciate it,
well,
bud.
To be fair, I was watching Jamal's show last night, Athletes Forum podcast, and he starts to show off talking about I got an orange hat on for repping my Gators helmets tonight. So the hat game was struggling, for the college sport crew coming into tonight. So
yeah, my guy Jamal, he was wearing the Gator stuff. I had to watch him because I got to support my guy. But God, the Gator stuff. I text him something. I'm gonna release it later, or not release it on the show, but I'm gonna tell you what I text him later in the show that I told him he could never release. We'll get to that later. All right, let's Tennessee. So I put out a call to action on TikTok on some teams asking people who disappointed you. And I'm still on what I got right segment, but Tennessee was one of those I got, and South Carolina. And I was surprised by that because I was like, I don't know. I thought we kind of nailed it, and Tennessee kind of did exactly what we thought they were going to do. They finished 11th, or no, they finished 9th. We picked them to finish 11th. I mean, this was kind of easy to me once they lost Nico. I was kind of sitting there like, I wasn't high on Nico anyway. So once they lost Nico, I was like, oh yeah, I'm out on this team. This is a 4-5 loss team. And that was one of the reasons I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised at Tennessee's reaction to Heupel. Tennessee fans, they he's on the hot seat according to fans. And I
Yeah,
was kind of surprised because I was like, I don't know why. I think we all kind of knew, even you Tennessee fans kind of knew this season was going to be a down year. And I don't know if maybe the Georgia game, all the comments just showed up at one time. That's great.
yeah, they come.
I don't know if the Tennessee fans after the Georgia game when they only lost by like 4 or whatever it was, maybe that gave them some false hope. But I was not shocked one bit by Tennessee's finishing or South Carolina. I was kind of surprised that
No,
people said they were disappointed with those. I was like, no, that played out exactly how I thought it was.
yeah, I think those two teams honestly finished exactly where I thought they would.
Yeah.
Um, you know, South Carolina is that team, man, that we've talked about this. I was really hoping Lenore Sellers was going to transfer. And that's me
I
talking out of
know.
both sides of my mouth because I hate the transport portal and I hate what it's done. But man, he's still so good.
Dude, I seen something on Twitter the other day about the quarterbacks. It was something to the effect of the quarterbacks that's been pressured the most, and he had been pressured like around 48%. And I'm like, I'm gonna talk about out of both sides of my mouth too. Like we usually like cheer and root for kids to stay at their schools, and
Absolutely. And
but
kudos to him for doing that. Kudos to
yeah,
him as a person for doing that, or kudos to South Carolina for paying him enough to keep him there. But um either way, yeah, kudos to that. But I really wanted to see him go somewhere so we could see what he could do.
yeah, I did too. Another one I think I got right, and I think you did too. Missouri. I thought that was pretty similar to Tennessee. I thought it would be a 7-5, 8-4 type year. I just didn't like who they lost, and I didn't really believe in the quarterback they had. Didn't really believe in the wide receivers. Um, so yeah, I wasn't. I think we nailed the Missouri one too. Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Texas. So Jamal, let's ask Austin. Jamal said, I text my guy Jamal from Athletes Forum podcast, and I asked him, could I take credit for my Alabama winning the SEC championship since they played in it, didn't win it? He said I couldn't. So I actually, if you see my notes there, I actually scribbled them out. I scribbled them out, and I said, all right, I won't take credit for it. What Austin say?
I mean, you picked a team to win an SEC championship, and they at least played for it. Well, they drove the bus there. I don't know if they played that game, but um, I don't know, man. It's like we talked about. Alabama last year, no, they were not the dominant Alabama team that we're accustomed to seeing. But this is still a team that finished the regular season first in the SEC, went to Atlanta, played an SEC championship, goes to the playoffs, wins a playoff game, and then gets blasted by the eventual national champions. Um, and like it's so hard to talk about because even as a fan, yes, it feels like a failure, but that's a good season. I'm sorry, that's a good season. Jamal sitting there saying you can't count it as a win, but I guarantee you he would let Florida trade spots with that season right now. I'm sorry, Jamal. I ain't taking shots at you, man. But anyhow, um, but no, what I'm trying to say is just the expectations that people have out of Alabama. No, they're not going to be the dominant force that we're used to seeing. And let's be honest, even the last, I don't know, 5, 6 years towards the end of Saban's career, they haven't been that. The game's just different now. Sustaining that for, they did it for 10 years. I mean, that's unheard of. But to do
Yeah.
it longer than that's, damn near impossible. So look, I'm over hearing about Alabama and DeBoer being on the hot seat, and like, look, I get it, but first in the SEC, go to Atlanta, win a playoff game, and lose to the eventual national champions.
Yep.
That's a good season.
I'm just gonna let you cook. I'm gonna let you cook. I don't have nothing else to add on that. Let's get into what we got wrong. Let's call ourselves out.
LSU. No, sorry.
Yes, but you can talk. I've got LSU on a different segment, but
Yeah,
um,
we can catch that one later.
yeah. I also have one that also we should have as what we got wrong in a different segment too that I'll get to. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. First one is we got to talk about the one I whiffed on badly. If you'll notice, I played the clip of the one I got right. I should have got the clip where I picked this team to go to the playoffs, and that is the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
I missed that one horrible. I
Yeah.
missed that one bad. And listen, like I said, I had them in the playoffs. We had a playoff prediction show, and I had them in the playoffs. I had them going to the playoffs. Hell, I drafted them on our friends Gridiron Uncensored, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Gridiron Uncensored, their podcast. I went on their podcast last year. They have a team draft just like we do, and I drafted the Gators on my team, and because I was so high on them, and I don't know, man. I really thought things were set up well for them to have a big year. I thought the way Lagway finished the season, with the wins over Ole Miss and LSU, I thought they finished the season strong, and I was just really, and I thought Billy Napier had finally built that team to a really talented roster. And I guess I just didn't. I guess where I messed up, what I didn't take into account is how bad Napier sucks as a play caller, and how
Yep.
much Lagway missing that time. Because we did talk about that preseason. I'm not backtracking here. I was wrong. We did talk preseason though, how that was a concern. But I stayed strong on my Florida pick. I thought, well, you know what, it'll be all right. And I think missing all that spring and fall, whatever it was he missed,
Missed
that
everything pretty much.
yeah, that I think that affect. And then also Billy just sucks as a play caller. Athletes Forum podcast, because comments are not showing up again. Austin, there's a difference. Or LOL, Austin, there's a difference though. Last time Florida saw a success like that, we had a pastor giving Hall of Fame halftime speeches where with Bama they've been dominant and relevant for more than a decade ago. Oh, I love it.
Um,
That was great.
yeah, Florida. I think year before last, we saw a lot out of Florida, a lot like what we saw at Ole Miss this year. A lot of guys playing for their head coach. I think the people that stayed beside Pete Golding this year at Ole Miss, we talked about that. There was a lot of emotion involved in that because they were, mad at Kiffin leaving and things like that. Kind of the opposite of, Napier staying year before last. And I really think the team just rallied around it. But that obviously emotion's going to lose its lackluster, and it showed up this year for sure. But I, I really, I still think that Florida team was talented enough. They could take that same
Yes.
team and go 10-2, 9-3, with the same exact team
I thought they were
under
talented
different
enough.
leadership.
Yeah, I thought they were talented enough too. I honestly, I think Billy did a lot of a lot of good things at Florida that he's not going to get a lot of credit for because he's among the Florida fans they can't stand him right now. But I do think that he did do a lot of good. He modernized, bringing support staffers. He got the administration on board. I think got everybody pulling in one direction. I also think the talent he recruited there, I thought he did a really good job with that. I just think it just boiled down to he sucked as a play caller. I think that's all there was to it.
I
I
don't
mean,
think I think honestly, you give him the coordinators that they have now,
I
and
think he would be killing it.
yeah, No, I agree. I just don't feel like he hired. I think he didn't hire the right people, to be around him. So
I think, and he was just too stubborn. He was too
yeah,
stubborn. He was way too stubborn. And I mean, I think that's what it was his undoing, unfortunately. But all right, another one that we got wrong big time. I didn't realize this. It took me. I went back and looked at our predictions. Do you want to guess where we had Vandy?
where did we have Andy?
There's 16 teams in the SEC. We had
We,
Vandy
br-
third. I mean 13th.
I remember that, and I remember thinking that this team was gonna be better than that. But I let you
Yep.
influence me on that. I ain't gonna lie.
It was
Um,
me. It was me. It was all me on Vandy.
you know,
I thought I don't know. I to me going into that season, I really had to see Diego do it again. And I did not think he was going to do it again. I thought it was like a fluky type thing. I damn sure didn't foresee what did they win 10 games? No, or 9 games. I think they won 9. 9-4, I
count
believe.
counting the bowl game. No, they went count. I mean, counting their bowl game, they went 10-3.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they won 10 games.
Yeah.
I didn't foresee that. I did not
No,
foresee that. Oh,
I mean,
and
I don't know that anybody would be brave enough to say Vandy's going to win 10 games.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna have one for biggest surprise. I'm gonna add one more into what we got wrong. Ole Miss.
I was kind of waiting. I wasn't going to bring it up because I didn't know if you had it in a later segment.
I was gonna put it in
Um,
biggest surprises, but I got one team in biggest surprise that will stay there. But Ole Miss
yeah, and,
got
and
me
I
with
don't
that.
think I don't think Ole Miss is the biggest surprise, honestly, because
I
we
don't.
we
Yeah.
said we said like with that offense and Lane Kiffin, I mean they could go off. Now, if you'd have told me they were going to lose Austin Simmons in week 2, week 3, whenever it was, I would have been like, oh, their season's over. Um,
Mhm.
Preseason, but I mean they definitely exceeded where we uh where we ranked them, but I will. We missed it, but at the same time, I'll put an asterisk on that because we did say, with that offense and the capabilities that they have, they could win any football game.
I'm glad you said that because I was wondering if I needed to. I was debating like all week. Do I put them? Do I put them biggest surprise? Do I put them? Because when you're doing this kind of show, you try to fill out all the segments and try to talk
Mhm.
about as you're not going to talk about all 16 teams, and
Right.
so you want to talk as many teams as you can, so that we can get people to listen about their favorite team, and yeah, we were wrong, and you're right. I don't think it was a big surprise, knowing what we know about Lane and all that. I was just, what's crazy to me, their season, how it went, especially with victories over Georgia and, getting as far as they did in the playoffs is I still think that 9-3 team was better than this team this year that went
Yeah.
11-1. When you're talking about strictly talent, from a
Yeah.
talent perspective,
Talent
like
wise,
that nine
um,
and three team was to me was better.
yeah. As much as I don't want to give him credit because as a Bama fan, I can't stand him, but you know,
Mhm.
Pete Golden did put a dent in that defense. I mean, I won't say they were great, and I don't have the numbers in front of me to back it up, but the defense was much improved because that 9-3 team's defense was horrible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kudos to them, man. They they killed it. All right, let's go. Let's see. Joseph says John David Baker pretty much runs the same offense. This offense is going to be super solid next year. Yeah, I do like that about what I loved about Pete Golden, the staff that he put together. That offensive coordinator hired told me like because my biggest fear when they promoted him was, oh Lord, defensive minded guy. You know, he's fixing to try to blow the thing up. But when he went out and hired that guy who I believe, um, who I believe was on Joseph can tell us if I'm wrong, but I believe he was on Ole Miss's staff when Lane was the head coach. Like he was like I can't remember. Joseph can correct us. I'd bet $100 to a bucket of crap that the defense is going to be a lot better too. We'll see. Austin has I don't know, PTSD from Pete Golden at Alabama.
Yeah, but he also came in as the dynasty was falling. He kind of came in as that era was changing too. So yes, the defense took a step back from, you know, Alabama standard of of the past 10 years, but I still think he can improve I still think he can improve Ole Miss's defense.
Yeah.
Because there was
This is a curious team for next year.
yeah.
I'm very curious about Ole Miss next year.
They're a team that could go 10-2 or could go 8-4. Neither one would surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very curious about that team. I'm fascinated. I'm trying not to let those 2 playoff wins by Golden cloud me too much.
Yeah.
It's a big year. I'm curious to see how he does. I can't wait. I do like the staff he's put together, and I do love the portal class that he got together. And the fact that I agree with Joseph, they had a great defensive haul in the portal. And I also
Absolutely.
like the staff that he hired. I like how well they were able to. I mean, they lost a few to Lane, but they didn't lose as many as we thought they were going to lose to Lane. I thought the whole team was basically especially I thought Trinidad, I thought Lacey, I thought Caden Lee, but I mean, he ended up at Missouri. I thought they were losing a lot to Lane. I thought Lane was fixing to gut this program to the studs. How does Ole Miss handle now being hunted versus the hunter with the first time head coach to coach a full season? I'm not buying it. LSU 14.5. Bet the 401k on it.
Ooh.
Ooh, Joseph is gonna. Oof. I like it. I mean, I like it.
On their home turf.
That's going to be a toxic environment. I've had a lot of toxic exes. You know one very well. And I think I think it's going to be more toxic than anyone I've ever dated before.
I'm telling you, man, we got to find a way to get to that game.
I
don't care if
the other day.
we don't even have to buy tickets. Let's just go.
I thought about that.
Get some folding chairs, set it right in the middle of the tailgate, and just watch it go.
I'm down. I literally thought about that the other day. I thought about it when I was looking at tickets again. I was like, Jesus, this is expensive. And it's only freaking February. And I was like, and in my head, I was like, why don't we just go and just tailgate? Go to the Grove.
Go sit in the Grove. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Find some people and just chill and just watch the game and just go and having a great night. And we could vlog it. We could do a show. I mean, dude, I'm down. You know me. You give me the word and we're going. We aren't going anywhere. The Rebs are here to stay and people don't want to see it. Man, Jamal, don't do it. Rebs eating September 19th. As he always says, go to hell, LSU. We're 29 minutes in. YouTube should not push our stuff for saying hell.
Yeah.
Our vintage Brandon Spikes meeting no shot. Okay. See, Jamal, I love him, and then sometimes he does stuff like that.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right. Let's go to our biggest surprise. I only got one down. I don't know if you have anybody to add. Oklahoma was, to me, we had them pick 7th. So we did expect them to improve. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Austin, but I don't remember us thinking they would be a playoff team. Yeah.
No. Honestly, I still don't think we're a playoff team. But, Oklahoma was a scrappy team. That's the one thing you can give to Mateer. He found ways to win some games, even though it wasn't pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So,
now that defense was nasty.
The defense was awesome.
That defense was nasty. And going into the season, I thought we were going to see improvement. I was not a big believer in Mateer. I I was surprised at the hype he was getting off season. I think Josh Pate, we love and adore Josh Pate. He was on the Heisman train for him. And I pushed back a little bit on that. I was like, I don't know about that. Now I know our guy Coach Pops. I know he's probably not watching tonight, but he's totally off the Mateer bandwagon. He kind of helped me, he was telling me stuff like if you go back to his Washington State days and watch him when he played competent defenses and all that stuff. So I wasn't super high on him, but kudos to them for going to the playoffs with a pretty shitty offense.
That's what I was going to say. My only pushback to that is he took that team to the playoffs and he had nobody around him. Like he was the offense.
Yeah.
So, that honestly I would say he gained some draft stock with me last year, just in the ways he found ways to win games. Because he had nothing. He had a bad O line, didn't run the ball great, didn't have any great receivers. So that would be my only pushback to that is he had nobody around him and still went to the playoffs.
Yeah, Oklahoma's first 5 games, 3 at Michigan, UGA, Texas. Back half is a little easier. Yeah, they do have a tougher. I forgot we play. Oh yeah, I forgot Georgia plays Oklahoma this year. Whoo.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think that's at home. Jamal, is that at home? Yeah, I think so. Because you said at Michigan, UGA, Texas. Yeah, I think it's at home. I think it's in Athens. I'd feel a lot better if it was.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough. That's a tough schedule. Did you have any other surprises that that's the only one I wrote down that really surprised me, other than I was gonna say Ole Miss, but we decided what we got wrong on that one.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now. Hey, drop a comment if you had anybody that was surprising to you. Let us know. We'll chop it up a little bit on that. So yeah, drop a comment. Hey, and also while we're here at the 30-minute mark, go to YouTube, hit College Sports Crew, or if you're watching on YouTube, it should be like right under me. Hit the subscribe button, help us out. Our February has been phenomenal. I think we got a couple of more, but I think the text I sent y'all was 16 and 19 days. I think it's now 17 and 19 days. So almost a sub a day, which is awesome. So let's finish out February strong. Let's get them numbers up. Let's get the numbers up. But yeah, if you got a team that disappointed you or was the biggest surprise to you, drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Athletes Forum Podcast says, well, actually, that's Joseph. Man, I got to check out. Great show. Take it easy. Go hotty toddy and go to hell LSU. We appreciate it, Joseph. You're awesome, dude. And Athletes Forum says at Michigan, at UGA. Ooh. At Michigan, at UGA, then Red River. Oof.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. That's tough for anybody.
Yeah, that is tough. All right, biggest disappointment to me. I had to go back and look because at my mind, getting old and stuff, I forget stuff. And yes, Jamal, like you said, LSU was my biggest disappointment. I went back and looked. I was like, was LSU kind of hyped? And come to my surprise, they were pretty hyped. I went and looked at Pick Six Preview, which is a great place to look. They had them, I think, 4th in the SEC, which is where I had them. CBS, there was a CBS writer that had LSU as his national champion pick. And JD Pickle, I think his name is, on 3, also had LSU as his national championship pick. So we weren't the only ones that were high on them. So to me, you could also put this in the category of what we got wrong, because we had them 4th in the SEC. They didn't end up finishing that way. But yeah, to me, that was the biggest disappointment. The whole Brian Kelly thing was just it was just like I don't know, man. Like Brian Kelly to me was always a good coach. I thought he was always a good coach, and I still to a degree think he's a good coach. I think this what happened at LSU kind of flipped me. You know how me and you we don't argue, but we do, but not about that. You've been pretty big proponent of fit is everything, and I've always kind of pushed back on that when me and you've ever discussed it privately. And I think the
Yep.
Brian Kelly thing kind of turned me over to your side of things to where I was like, I think fit does matter because
Yeah.
I just think it was a horrible fit from the get go. Because no, you can't convince me that Brian Kelly wasn't a good coach with what he did at Notre Dame. And I get it. Marcus Freeman's doing way better at Notre Dame than he's ever done. In terms of recruiting and getting to the national championship, which Kelly did, but it seems like their future is brighter with Freeman than it was Kelly. But you still can't convince me that he ain't a good coach. And yeah, I just thought, man, man, they had the top portal class. They had a top 5 recruiting class came in. They had Nuss coming back, who was most people had as a guy that was going to the top 5. And I don't know, I ain't seen him in any first 2-round mock drafts here lately. I think he's now projected to be like a 4th, 5th, 3rd maybe is the highest you'll see him go. And yeah, it was just a massive disappointment, man. I just that offense was doo doo.
Yeah. It was bad. And honestly, even I mean, for LSU standards, the defense wasn't great. They had
It
some
wasn't
great
great.
players. They had some
Yeah.
great players, but I don't know. I just man, they they're up there with Clemson, Penn State, and LSU have got to be the top 3 biggest disappointments in the country.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. I agree with
Without
that.
me having to look it up, has Brian Kelly ever coached in the NFL?
I don't think so. I don't think
I
he
don't
has.
know. I just wonder sometimes if he, I mean, he just gives that like old Belichick style that just not cut out to work the politics that it takes to be a great college coach.
Funny you say that. You know, he used to be in politics.
Really?
You didn't know that, did you?
Well, well, that's
He
probably why I
actually
got out
worked
of
in politics.
it. That's probably why I got out of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. He just comes across as that to me, just a very dry, dry personality. Um, I don't know.
No, he did not
But
coach in the NFL, but apparently he coached softball. Hmm.
interesting.
Brian Kelly's an interesting man. Yeah, he coached softball
Yeah.
at Assumption Greyhounds. Never heard of it.
Huh.
He was also the
Interesting.
defensive coordinator for the football team.
I don't know. I could just see him. I do think he's a good coach. I just don't think he's cut out to work with college kids. I could see him being successful in like the NFL where it's all X's and O's and personality doesn't matter.
I don't think he's cut out for the SEC. I think he came down here. I think Notre Dame's a lot more. Well, maybe not now, but was a way more relaxed job when he was there than the SEC is. I mean, we live it. We live in the South, both me and you, and we know how fanatic these fans are. I mean, this. I mean, they're.
Well,
I, people don't go to fall weddings down here
I'm sorry. Like,
unless their best
look,
friend has one in the fall.
listen. I know I would get some flack for saying this because the SEC, got their ass kicked in bowl games this year and seemed to be a little down. Yes, I get all of that. But regardless, the way an SEC schedule works, I mean, week in and week out, you're playing the best of the best. And if you have a bad year, it can get real bad real quick. Versus at Notre Dame, look, this isn't a shot at them, but let's be honest, week in and week out, their schedule's not the same. So if you only play 3 tough games a year, you're going to clip this, aren't you?
I'm gonna clip this.
If you only play 3 tough games a year, you can lose all 3 of them and go 9-3. That doesn't look that bad.
I love you. Uh, um,
I wasn't even trying to be. I mean, you know my favorite saying: "Facts have no feelings," and I mean those are facts.
I'm just happy because I feel bad. Like when I clip our stuff for our show, I've been waiting on like either Caitlin or you to hit me up and tease me and go, I think you're trying to steal the spotlight, Chris, because all I ever see is clips of you. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm doing all the freaking hot takes here. And Austin's done produced 2 clips tonight that I'm gonna clip. So y'all gonna see his beautiful face on TikTok tonight. And I'm looking forward to it. And someone sends me a fall wedding invite. I send it back with a college football slate for their wedding day. Yeah, I don't know who would do that ever.
Come
Ever.
on. You're pointing the wrong way on my screen. I'm over here on.
Ever. I don't know.
Yes,
But the guy
I got married. I got married in October.
Damn shame.
Yeah,
Damn
it
shame.
is.
But
I agree.
he married an amazing woman who's also a sports fanatic. So they if when their anniversary comes, I promise you he's probably gonna be out of town doing his anniversary thing, but they are watching college football because his wife is absolutely amazing. She loves sports.
In 12 years together, it's the only day she's ever asked me to miss a game.
Yep. That's it.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. All right, let's end the show on this. Buying and selling some teams. I'm for the future. We talked about what happened in 2025. Now, this one's gonna hurt me. I need to mute Jamal right now. I'm gonna put my UGA hat on. I don't have one on me right now, but I'm gonna pretend. I'm really hating how much I love John Summerall. Like, I despise it. Here lately, he's been going on like a media blitz with like a lot of Gator independent podcasts, and they've been phenomenal interviews. And like, that dude is just awesome. Like, he had a clip the other day where they were talking about, how is it coaching in this new era with NIL? Can you be tough on them like you could back in the old days? And he said, yeah, I'm not quoting it because I don't remember it all, but it was something to the effect of like, I feel like it's the opposite. Yeah, you can be hard on them because I can just say, shut up, bro. You're paid now. Stop your whining. And I was like, God, I love this dude. Yeah, I'm buying Florida, man. Listen, I love John Summerall. I love the staff that he hired. I love the OC in particular. I love that hire. And what he did at Tulane last year, I've mentioned on the show several times, I was thoroughly impressed with. And I do think they're going to make a jump this year. I really do. I don't know how much. I'm not picking them this time to be in the playoffs, but Jamal just flood and clip this man's StreamYard, clip it all. Yeah, so the text I sent Jamal, I text him a Twitter link of the I think I texted him a Twitter link of the Summerall interview and said, I really hate to admit how much I love this man. And I forgot what he had said, but I texted him back and said, this never leaves this conversation. Is what I told him. But I'm buying Florida. Give me all the Florida stock because John Summerall is the real deal.
I agree with you. I'm gonna go somewhere else, but no, I would definitely be buying Florida. I'm gonna take the easy road. I'm buying Lane at LSU.
Yes. That's your third clip you got me.
I'm buying Lane at LSU. I think he's gonna do great things down there. I think keeping the defensive coordinator just went blank. Help me out.
Blake Baker.
There you go, Blake Baker. I think that combo is just gonna be stupid.
I wanted to put LSU, but I the exact quote on TikTok was I posted a bunch of our Lane stuff when we was grading the hires, and I can't say the exact quote. It's not YouTube friendly. But after like the third or fourth clip of me clipping something with Lane, because just so you know, Lane for the algorithm helps a lot.
Yeah.
Our highest viewed video segment got over 400 views and like 20 to 30 watch hours. And it was a Lane Kiffin 10-minute segment. It's the highest viewed video we've ever had at We Talk Ball. And so, yes, it's just smart business. Anytime you do talk about Lane Kiffin, you clip it. And
that is not why I did that, but
no, I'm just saying.
we'll
but
take
this
it.
dude, he was like, he sent us a comment and said, "Why is this guy eating Lane's? You know what?" And so when I was prepping this week, he popped back up in my head when I was looking at buying, and I was like, you know what, you SOB? I ain't buying Lane. I mean, I am, but I ain't saying it on the show.
I ain't gonna say it.
I ain't gonna say it. I'll pick somebody else. You. So I'm glad you bought him. Now I'm all in on Lane Train, baby. You know that.
I'm buying Kentucky.
I was just thinking that in my head. Yeah, I'm buying Kentucky.
I love what he's got. I love what he's doing there. I just hope it. Again, you got to. It looks great right now. It's just got to turn into some W's, but I think it will.
They got a tough schedule, so I don't. I'm gonna hold reserve. I'm gonna reserve judgment because Jamal brought that up. I'm gonna reserve judgment for year one. But if we're buying stock, we're buying for the future, right? Is that how it works?
Yes, you're buying for the future, but also at the same time, and when you're buying stock in Kentucky, I will say it's more than just straight wins and losses. Like it's more. I don't believe in moral victories, but if Kentucky gets back to being competitive, and I think they will at least do that. They're going to become that Kentucky team that they're going to beat somebody that they're an underdog to, and finish at least bowl eligible and go play in a solid bowl game and be a good season. That's where Kentucky's. I don't think they'll get back to 10 wins, but who knows? Maybe they do.
Yeah. All right, selling. I warned
Keep my
you
name.
about this. No,
I thought you were going to change your mind.
No, I'm not changing my mind. That I really feel this way. I can't do that. No, that would mean being a fraud. I can't change my mind. Listen though, okay. Me and Austin talked about this on the phone earlier, so he's been pre-warned. I'm selling Bama. I think DeBoer is a great coach. I want to make that very clear. I still think he's a great coach. I don't know that I think he's top 5 like I did last year, but I do think he's a good coach. I think he's top 15. I think that after Bama, he's going to go on and get a job somewhere and kill it and remind us why he's a good coach. I can't get this feeling out of my head that there's just something not right going on at Alabama. You made some great points at the beginning of the show. You're absolutely right. SEC championship appearance, going to the playoffs, all great things. There is 136 programs, only 12 teams made it. And, whatever the math is, I ain't good at it. But there's a bunch of programs that would die for Alabama season. I mean, Nebraska fans would die for it.
Right.
Multiple Big 12 teams would die for that opportunity. And you're absolutely right. But I cannot get out of my head how the season ended with Georgia and Atlanta, with Indiana. Granted, they did get the Oklahoma win. But that is a team you did admit that you didn't think that they may not have deserved. They may not have been a playoff team.
Yeah.
There's just something stinky there. I can't put my finger on it other than I don't think he's a fit. I just don't think he's a fit. I'm not out on DeBoer. I'm just all in on this is not a good fit. This is not a good fit. I don't think he fits well at Alabama. And I'm not feeling good. As a matter of fact, I tried to look for the article and I couldn't find it because I was going to post it on our show. But I saw another article where a former a player that's not on the team now did an interview and he was doing all that BS again, where he was talking about, we just the leaders and and like that's becoming a recurring theme with DeBoer at Alabama. And I don't think he knew what he walked into at that job. And I don't know if he was going to take the Michigan job, but there was a national media member I listened to the other day that said he would not say that the DeBoer Michigan thing was going to happen, but he did say that thing was more serious than people thought.
Oh, absolutely.
And he said it to the point that if Bama would have lost to Oklahoma, things would have got interesting. And I do think he's looking for a way out. And we'll get to our hot seat show, but Riley has a bad year. Somebody be going back to the West Coast. I don't know, man. I don't like the fit, man. I don't like the fit.
You know, you warned me about it, but it still hurts hearing it live. Just for that, just for that, maybe I should sell Georgia since they're having to
Maybe.
spend. I mean, they're having to spend all their NIL money bonding their people out of jail. So, so maybe I should sell them.
I mean, they had a lot of close games last year. Could have flipped. Could flip.
Um,
I got another surprise sale, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see what you say. I'm scared you're gonna pick it, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. There's a lot of teams that I just question. Honestly, I'm questioning A&M.
target. I'm selling A&M. That's who I had written down.
I love Mike Elko and I love what he's about. I just don't like the progress that when they go up against that season last year, that schedule covered up a lot, and we saw it when it got crunch time. Um,
I mean, when we
so
talk about Bama, if I'm going to give Bama hell for how their season ended and how there was a stink, I mean, Aggie's season did not end on a good note with Texas and then the Miami playoff game.
yeah, no, without a
Reed,
doubt.
I did not realize how bad Marcel Reed was in those two games. I mean, he had 0 touchdowns and 4 turnovers.
Yeah. Um,
And then you look at his schedule, and then you look at the schedule, and you go, okay, who was the other good team that they played other than Miami and who was it? Miami
Texas.
and you go look at Notre Dame, and I didn't realize how bad he was in the Notre Dame game. I know he had some highlight plays, some
Yeah,
hellacious throws, but he was 17 for 37, 45% completion percentage. He wasn't good in that game. And then
yeah,
I looked at their schedule at LSU, at Bama, at Oklahoma, and Texas. Home. That schedule ain't what it was this year. I don't know, man. I just don't, and I don't like I didn't like the OC hire, promoting within. So yeah, I'm out on the Aggies, man.
yeah.
I'm not out on Mike Elko though. I think he'll get it. I think they're just gonna have a down year this year, and then Mike Elko will get it straight. He's too good of a coach.
I know they finished 15th, but we're talking about the future here. It's hard to go down from 15th, but I'm selling South Carolina.
Yeah, I think the Beamer's era is over.
I think the Beamer era is over. I think having Sellers. I mean, of course, he still has one more year with him. I know, but I think this was your best opportunity to surround him with talent, and um, you finished what 4-8 with that much talent under center. Yeah, I think it's over.
Yeah. Oh, another one I'm selling on. And if you don't have another one, we'll end it on this, or if you do, we'll end it on that. Vandy. I'm selling
Yeah,
him. I'm I mean, maybe we'll be wrong a second time, but I'm selling Vandy. I do think Clark Lee's a good coach, a decent coach. I
yeah,
think he's done a good job, but I think this year's they lost too much and too many really good players for me to just think that they're gonna be consistently. I think they're gonna drop back to not going to a bowl game.
yeah,
Especially if you're starting a freshman that you promised a job.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I tell you what, I'll say one more thing, and then we can finish it. We both trying to get the last word in.
No, you go ahead.
If I had to pull a Jamal and bet the 401k for a team that it will have a better record next year than they had last year, it's the Arkansas Razorbacks.
I wanted to get them into the show as like a disappointment because
Yeah,
I'm so pissed at how much that offense didn't get talked about this year because of how shitty that defense was. We're 55
Yep.
minutes. I can cuss now. That defense was so shitty. It's a damn shame
Yep.
that offense doesn't get talked about enough because that offense was absolutely elite.
Yep.
So, all right,
I
guys.
agree.
We appreciate it. Always wonder how we'll make it an hour, and we always figure it out. Hey, next week will be our last one, not last show, Big Ten Autopsy. And then we're moving on to a lot of cool and fun stuff. We've got, our pre-spring top 25. I'm really looking forward to that. We got our hot seat show, coordinator show, top 25 coaches, draft shows that we do every year with a couple of things. Spring question marks, buy, sell, or hold. We got so much content coming. We got a schedule up to April. And we got a couple of interviews scheduled that are set to release at later dates. And yeah, man, we thank y'all for tuning in. Go hit that follow button and the subscribe button at College Sports Crew on YouTube. Go hit the follow button on Twitter at College Crew and hit us up on TikTok. We got a good following over there. Post clips all the time, do TikTok lives at College Sports Crew. We appreciate it, guys. And until next time, we'll see you next week.